Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Monday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at Brooklyn actively updated supply came in at 2,905. Show me that chart.
Yeah, so I mean, 2,905, Noah. I honestly never thought we'd be this close to 3,000, but supply in Brooklyn continues to rise. That's up 6% from the week before, which is actually a down week, so it seems a little bit higher than before. But I mean, that's the trend is in place. We have rising supply in Brooklyn for the first time that since I can remember.
Yeah, buyers rejoice, right? Maybe they're going to get some opportunities to get some leverage opportunities for some decent products that they've been looking for. It's few and far between. It's scarce. That doesn't mean the quality of the product's there. It doesn't mean that the seller's asking prices and the combination of those two are in line to get a deal. So there might be still a tight situation, but you're right. We need that to go up. Let's switch over to pending sales measure of Brooklyn demand, 3,475 things. Show me that chart.
Yeah, it's really a whole lot of nothing here. I mean, they're essentially flat. I think there's a difference of maybe 9 listings or so. So if you want to keep your score at home, that's a negative 0.3%. So barely a downward move in Brooklyn pending sales, a whole lot of flat going on.
Yeah, a whole lot of flat going on. So you got supply going up just a little bit. You got pending sales flat. As a result, the market pulse is just hovering around 1.2. You know, if your buyers, if you're really looking for a window of leverage opportunity, you need to see that go down. So if that gets below 1, that's probably like as close as good as they're going to get, kind of a thing. Let's keep an eye on that as we get going forward. Johnny, let's go over to the weeklies. I'm looking at Brooklyn over here. How many things came on? Ding, ding, ding. 281 things. That's up just a little bit. Actually, that's up a lot. Johnny, show me that chart.
Well, it's up a lot compared to the week before, right? But if you're looking back last few weeks, it's a little bit down compared to where we were. I mean, we're not over 300. I mean, we're close to it, but that's a respectable number for early June, 281 listings. I mean, that's the sort of number you were hoping to have in January, February, March, when it was just really, really tight supply. But it seems like the listings are coming on. And as we saw in the macro version of supply, that macro view, that overall view, this is where it is. I mean, we're ticking up at close to 300 units a week here in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that post Memorial Day holiday, maybe we got a little bit of a twofer going on here from the holiday weekend now being put on. But yeah, this is the kind of thing you want to see. And, you know, John, you go into June, you go into July, you go into August. I mean, you know, typically we're not going to see supply rising. So the forces are against that. So the fact that it might be sustaining itself, that's what we get. Does this sustain itself? Does this become a trend? That's what we're really looking for, guys, in between. John and I discuss this all the times internally. We will let you know when this becomes a trend and it's something worth watching. Let's go over to 1 week focus of contract signed. Brooklyn demand 158. That is down noticeably. John, show me that chart.
Yeah, and you know, you're just speaking of trends, and here's one of the things that's interesting about this number is, yes, it's down notably compared to the week before, but in general, I mean, look at this trend. This is a down trend for weekly contract signs in Brooklyn. This is the first time I think that Manhattan and Brooklyn trends are really sort of overlapping each other, and really everything started the first, second week of April. We saw these trends roll over, and Brooklyn is actually no exception here. We've got 158 units signed into contract last week. In order to see a number that low, you'd have to go back to January, and then the next one would be the January before that. So this is a surprisingly low number of contract signs. I mean, it's still well above what you would consider a normal seasonal level, but the trend is turning over.
And that's why you're probably not seeing, you know, any rug pulls here. That's probably why you're not seeing any steep discounts or you know, really panicked sell side. I mean, there may be pockets here and there of someone that's panicking, has to deleverage and has to raise some money. You never know. That always exists, especially when times when market gets volatile. But you're right. You know, this is certainly the beginning of a trend. And when we pivot into the next chart du jour, I mean, what we're looking at here is really the year over year percentage change of weekly deal volume. Right. So we're trying to keep it consistent. You know, what did this week do this year versus this week last year? Are we higher than this week last year? Are we lower than this week? So that keeps everything apples to apples. And this is a good visualization, John, I think, of what you were saying is, all right, we're starting to see some differences here. And the last couple of weeks, we're starting to get a trend. And yeah, it's slowing, but you're not seeing the price action slow. And that's because, I mean, first off, there's not a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
Right. And second off, you're not going to get this price action data anyway for another 3-4 months. So if the market is shifting right now, you're not going to see it in any of the data until late summer, fall.
Yeah, you're certainly not. I mean, if you go back to the market pulse, which is actually that measurement of what pending sales are to supply, and again, that's an overall view, it's still well above 1. It's like 1.2. I mean, yeah, it's down maybe 10% or so on the
1.2.
monthly 1.2. So it's down from where it was, but that still means there's 1.2 listings in contract for every one on the market. So sellers still have the upper hand here, but buyers, your window in Brooklyn may be approaching here.
Yeah, and that's the thesis, and that's the overlapping thesis for both Manhattan and Brooklyn, is that macro forces trump all. Macro forces have changed. We've talked about this for months now, right? Either you're prepared or you're not. If you're not, you need to get prepared. And I think the message is clear. If I'm a broker, I'm sending messages to all of my buyers, get all hands on deck, right? This is the market you've been waiting for. This is the opportunity you've been looking for. Has it materialized? Has it come to fruition? No. That's the whole point. It has not.
Right.
It looks like it's going to, and that's going to be ahead of us. So you need to set it up.
Yeah.
John Walkup, thank you so much for putting all of this data together. It is very, very insightful to see, and we will watch it as the market shifts. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We are both from UrbanDigs. Don't forget, guys, you got questions, we got answers. Just look right over here in our forum. And if you want any of the charts that John whipped up today, it'll be right over here on the right side, Premium Research and Report Center. Other than that, this has been your Brooklyn Weekly Market Update. We'll catch you next time.